Okay, so first, thanks for everyone for taking the time and joining us today. Today, we're going to focus on the discussion around the program's features specifically, or the program's features. So looking at the registration list and the response that we have in the chat box, it seems like we're about half and half people that are subscribers currently and people that are not subscribers. In all transparency, if you're not a subscriber, my goal is to make you a subscriber or at least trial the platform by the end of this call. And then for our current subscribers, the goal here is just to give you a little bit more insight and let's call it like tips and walkthroughs on how to use this feature more effectively. So as we roll through, just continue to drop questions or begin to drop questions in the chat box. I'm going to try to stay on track here. I'm not going to kind of stop answer questions just so we have a nice smooth recording from start to finish. And then when we wrap up the walkthrough, I'll kind of go back and answer all the questions that are inside of the chat box, and then we'll open it up. I'll unshare my screen and we'll just have a conversation around the platform. And then I'll reshare my screen if you guys have questions that would be beneficial for me to walk through the platform. All right, on that, so goals of the webinar. So like I said, we're going to walk through programs features, or I'm going to talk through programs features, and you guys are going to see screenshots through this slide deck. And then I'm going to share my screen, and then we're just going to walk through the process of creating a program and then building your program sales page. We did that last time with Storefront. We got a lot of really good feedback, how it was beneficial to actually see it being done. But just like if we go too fast or if there's something that you want me to really dig into, keep in mind we do have walkthroughs in the Help Center and how to build program sales pages, as well as how to build products. So I'll kind of show the product piece today, but I'm not going to walk through the entire product creation piece since we did do that in a prior webinar. And then we're going to end with about 30 minutes, maybe even a little bit more of just discussion, questions, and let's try to keep it specific to programs specifically for this one, but just allotting some time just to have some conversation around the platform. All right, programs home. All right, so first piece, programs home. So for our current users, you'll notice that we did a little bit of a refresh of our index view. This is probably a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. The goal here was to mimic the client calendar experience. When we built out the client calendar, for those of you guys that were in 2 years ago when we first launched CoachRx, we didn't have a great amount of real estate, and we've added some shifts over the past 2 years to create more real estate in the client calendar experience, just so coaches have more room to operate. So we did this for the index as well. We actually didn't get any feedback, but we were just in an internal meeting. We're like, why aren't we, exposing more of the screen? So you'll notice that shifted if you're a current subscriber. So if what you're seeing looks a little bit different than what you're used to, that's the reason as to why. On the program's homepage, so what you're looking at is just a list of programs that are in the platform inside of this organization specifically. You'll have the name of the program. Underneath that, you'll have the description of the program. Then next to that, you'll have the length of the program. Keep in mind that the length of the program, that's not like a manual input. That is auto-populated by the number of weeks you have designed, okay? And then live programs, we'll talk about the difference between standard and live programs here in a minute, but live programs are auto-populated as you design. So if you start, obviously it's 1 week, and then once you go to the next week, it's 2, 3, 4, 82 weeks. That's just all going to auto-populate right there on this program's homepage. Then next we have training age for context. Okay, so we're going to walk through the build of programs, but we gave you the ability to create who is it for, right? Is it for a beginner? Is it for an intermediate? Or is it for an advanced? Or is it for all three? So you'll have the ability to plug those in. Just for context, if you have 50 programs in there and you're sliding through, you can kind of see those BIA icons just to understand who those programs you specifically built for, or a coach inside of your organization built those programs for. Next to that, you're going to have that little circle icon with someone's face on it. And that is the coach that created the program. Okay. And then finally, all the way to the right where you see standard all the way down the board, it's just going to be the type of program. So is it a live program or is it a standard program? All right, we're going to keep it moving. Let's discuss program types, live versus standard. So a standard program is not associated with calendar dates. The standard program is meant to be assigned to a client for a certain amount of days and end after the program is complete. Okay, so these are, let's just call these static programs. Okay, you drop a client in with the expectation that they start on day 1 and they go to day, let's just say 30, and then that's it. Okay. You can go in there and mess around with your settings where it's like, okay, if I add another week, do I add it to the clients that are inside of there? Yeah, you can still do that and treat it kind of like that live program, but that's not what it's meant for. It's just meant to be a static program, 30-day program. You sell that program or you drop people into that program. You can make some updates to individualize as needed, or you can just keep it right then and there. And that could just be something that's churning on the back end. Okay. A live program is a lot different than a standard or a static program. So a live program is associated with calendar dates. This program is meant to have no end date, rather is an ongoing program design. This allows you to mass send the same program to multiple clients in live time. Okay. So just think of these as, or when we think of the intention, think of this as the intention is to take a number of clients through a program together in live time. So think of platforms like Wodify. I think a lot of us are familiar with that. Okay. The calendar is live, clients are dropped in. They see the workout for today. They can go in the past and look at past workouts. They can go in the future if you allow them to, but they can see the workout for today, and everyone's seeing that workout and executing that workout that they're supposed to do today. And those workouts are pushed to their app as you design. So all you have to do in live programs, you drop people in, and then you just use that calendar just like you would an individual design calendar. Okay, you might have 50 people in that live program, but you're still pulling up that calendar as if you were designing a live program for a one-to-one client, and those 50 are getting that same program. Okay, I'm probably over-explaining that. I'm sure you guys are smart enough to understand the differences between standard and live, but we get a lot of questions like, what is really the difference? Okay, those are the big differences between standard and live programs. And this was a feature that we implemented a few months ago, actually, and it's something that other platforms just didn't offer, right? And we didn't offer it before we implemented it. We had a standard program and a bunch of coaches were using that standard program as like a workaround. So we're like, okay, let's just build this live program idea that's associated with dates on the calendar, not just days. So it's not day 1, day 2, day 3. It's actually Wednesday, the 25th of January, and then Thursday, the 26th of January, and allow coaches to drop people in those live program designs. Playlist hyping me up. Yeah, as you guys have questions, just continue to drop them in. I'm not ignoring you. I will answer those at the end here. All right, so let's talk about program assignments. So it was important for us to simplify and make the process of assigning and unassigning a little more seamless than, I'll just speak for ourselves, than we had it before. It was quite clunky compared to how it's laid out now. So you have access to, so if you're an organization owner, you have access to every client inside of that organization, okay? And it's organized by coach for easy adding and removing. All you have to do is you choose the start date. Okay, so I want this program to start on this date for this client, and I want it to start on this day of the program. Okay, start date and then this day of the program. You hit assign and then it does the rest for you. This will make more sense when we do our walkthrough. But program assignment is just, it's easy because it's a more bulk process, right? It's not like I add person 1 and then I go back to the home screen and then I go back and then I add person 2. You can bulk assign or bulk unassign, which is has been very beneficial. All right, program settings. I won't spend too much time on this because we're going to walk through it and I can kind of show you what it means. But to kind of chat through it really quick, we also found it important to change the way that program clients use the app based on how you, the coach, want them to use the app. So one-to-one, okay, so if I have a client and that client's paying me $400 a month, I'm going to allow that client to send me comments and messages and upload videos and so on and so forth, because that is a $400 per month program or offering that I'm delivering. If I'm throwing someone in a program, maybe I don't want to offer those things. So we're just giving you the ability to choose. Do you want to offer comments being read only or not? Messages being read only or not? How far in the future do you want them to see? How far back in the past do you want them to see of that program if it is a live program design? So we just wanted to give some wiggle room for coaches to be able to make those decisions on their own, because when we thought about it, we're like, well, we can kind of think of cases where, you know, coaches will want to over communicate with those clients and programs, and we could also think of cases where we didn't want that, to separate this programs thing for what they're delivering in individual design. So completely up to you, but you can turn off or on the ability for your clients inside of programs to comment and message, and also adjust visibility. Oh, sorry guys. Am I good? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Just give me okay. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. DeAndre, just check your mic there, or your speaker. So that would be program settings. All right. And then finally moving to program sales page. So another separator for us that we wanted to build is the ability to sell your program through the platform, of course. Okay. So before we walk through this process, just know what you need to have as a user if you are a current user, and you just need to have Stripe integrated with your platform. All right. So if you need to know how to do that, just search it in the help center. How do I integrate with Stripe? And we have a video walkthrough on how to do that. It's fairly seamless. Just press business, connect with Stripe, and then Stripe will take you through that process. So that needs to be done prior to selling anything through the platform. You have to be connected with Stripe. Okay. But after you're connected with Stripe, when you go to sell the program, it's a very, very seamless process for yourself and your clients. Okay. So this is how it works. Clients check out from your sales page that you built. We'll walk through building those sales pages in a second. You are updated via email of the sale with the program that is sold and the client who bought that program. Okay. So an email goes out and says, you sold the assault bike improvement program, and the client was Carl Hardwick. Okay. Then your client's CoachRx account is automatically created. So you don't have to do anything there. Okay. So that account is automatically created, and that client is automatically dropped into said program. So if I buy your assault bike improvement program, I am automatically dropped into that program. Okay. My CoachRx account is automatically created. I will receive a welcome email from CoachRx walking me through how to download and set up my app. Okay. So all that is seamlessly done on the back end. So you don't have to worry about any of that. When we walk through the process of how to create these, I'll walk through whose coach account will they fall under, and other considerations like that. All right, let's actually walk through the building of a program. I'm gonna put myself on the spot a little bit here. All right, so what you guys are seeing right now, you're actually seeing me inside of the platform. Okay, so I'm in the index right now. Okay, so it's automatically going to take you to your exercise library. So I'm going to go down to programs. I'm going to click add a program. And then this is where I'm going to start building out the program. Okay, so I'm going to build out this assault bike improvement program that I walk through in the slide deck. Okay, so program name, assault bike improvement program, description. I'm going to drop my description in here. I'm going to make this a standard program. Training age, I'm going to say this program is for beginners, intermediates, and advanced. So come one, come all. Okay. Now I'm going to save and add the workouts to that program. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of cheating here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste those workouts in. That'll take a second. And then I'm going to add those weeks. All right. So obviously you're going to have to design those programs. I just kind of pasted them in from that program. All right, now from there, I can go in, I can edit program info. So the info that I just plugged in, I can go in and edit that if I need to. Okay, I can assign the program. Okay, so when we talked about bulk assigning, I can just click on myself as a coach. I can choose what clients I want to drop in. So I'm going to drop in Colton there. I'm going to drop in Emma. I'm going to drop in Janice. And we're going to call it a day. Okay. I'm going to choose the start date. So I'm going to start them all on today, the 25th. And then if I decide I want to remove clients, I can do that here as well. And then I would just hit assign program. And then it would be all of those clients would be assigned that program on that day. Okay. Once they're assigned, I can go here and manage assignments. Okay, so this is just for assigning. And then if I want to bulk remove or manage those assignments, I can do it right here from this screen. All right, now I'm going to quickly walk through program settings. Okay, so here, this is what we talked about in terms of comments being read-only, messages being read-only, and then updating client visibility and also being able to disable client uploads. Okay, so I'm just going to sell this program. It's a standard program. So I don't want people commenting on the workouts. I don't want people messaging me, and I don't want people to be able to add videos of themselves or images. So I'm going to disable all of those. And then I'm just going to allow them to see future workouts that fall within that week. So I'm going to leave this all the same here. And then I would hit save. Okay, now we're going to go out. Now we're going to go and build the sales page. Okay, so this is really important. So I have the program created, but for me to go and build the sales page, remember I said that you have to be connected to Stripe. So if I have to be connected to Stripe, I have to ensure that I have a product set up in the back end. Okay, so I'm just going to swipe over. Just imagine I pressed business at the top. I went to payments, I went to products, and you could see I have this assault bike program product already set up to be sold. Okay, so I can add the product name. I've already done it. The description, already did it. So this is where I actually tie the product to a program to be able to sell that program online. Okay, so here would be a list of all the programs that you have in the back end. Okay, I'm going to choose the assault bike improvement program that I just created because that's what I want to sell. You can choose a coach that you want to tie it to. So this is for payroll purposes only. So if you're using the payroll feature in the business suite, this would be beneficial to click what coach you want to pay out for the purchase of that program. And then here, this is going to automatically be checked. But for whatever reason, if you want to uncheck this, you can. The only reason that really makes sense is if you're selling a program or something to your current clients that already have CoachRx accounts, you would want to uncheck this because you don't want it to try to create new accounts for that client. Okay, so this is auto create client when product is purchased through storefront. I'm going to keep this on because I do want that product, or I do want that client account to be automatically created. I would save that. You'll notice that I have only one product set up. It's a one-time assault bike. Okay, I have no active subscriptions, and I have $50 one-time payment. If I wanted to add new pricing plans, I could do so. So if this was a live program and I wanted to add, a monthly subscription, or I wanted to add every 6 months, every year, every 6 months, or every 3 months, or a custom interval, I could do that there. I choose the amount that I want to sell it for, so on and so forth. Okay, so now that I'm set up, the product is all good to go. Now I'm going to go in and create that sales page. So I'm going to click this. All right, you'll notice that everything is empty. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see is program banner image. So you can add a banner image, or you can embed a video. So on that sales page, you can just have an image of the coach, the program, whatever the heck the thing is. Or if you have a video you want to embed to market that piece, go ahead and put that there. Next, you're going to have program info. So I'm going to throw in program info here really quick. Okay, then you have experience level. I'm going to say that this program is beginner to advanced. And keep in mind, if you leave any of these things empty, that is just not going to show up on that program sales page. So if you don't have experience level, that just won't be a value that showed. It's not going to be an empty value. Sessions per day, we're going to do 1 session per day. We're going to go 60 minutes and average session time, and we're going to do 2 sessions a week. Okay. Then here, coached by image. So you would just add in an image of yourself if you're the coach, one of your coaches, if they're the coach, or if you're just selling this as like your business, you can just add your business logo here. Then you would have your coached by name. Okay. So we just plug that name in. We're going to say this one is built by James. And then we can throw a bio in there as well. And then if we want to embed a video to introduce that coach, we could also do that, and that'll show up on that page. Then here we can drop in all social links: Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, website, email. Yeah, that's just contact info. If you want to drop that in, those icons will show up on that sales page. We'll walk through that in a second. And then assign coach. This one's important. Okay, so assign coach means that, remember we talked about that CoachRx account being automatically created. Well, that CoachRx account has to be put somewhere or placed somewhere or under a particular coach. So whatever coach you choose as the assigned coach, all of those programs that you're selling, they're going to fall under that coach in the back end, because those clients have to be under somewhere. So if you're an individual design coach and you're running this program that you're using as like a lead magnet, and you're like, hey, I want to sell this thing, but I don't want it to like, jam up my client list because I'm coaching 30 individual design clients and I don't want a bunch of programs people inside of there. Not a big deal. Just go into the coaches section in CoachRx, create a new coach. So I would actually create a coach that I would name that coach Assault Bike Improvement. And then I would assign it to that coach, quote unquote. And then all those clients that fall in, they'll just fall under that Assault Bike Improvement coach. Or if you want to put all of those clients underneath you as a coach, you can do that as well. But if you're an individual design coach and you're using this as like a lead magnet or something like that, or a tripwire product, I wouldn't crowd up my client list. So I would just create that coach account, and it's not a big deal. You're not charged having additional coaches. So you can have as many coaches as you want in the platform. And then you choose the plans to be offered. So I would just click this. Remember, I had that one time at $50. I would choose that because that was the only product that I had available. And then if it's a live program and you want to have trial days, so it's like, hey, I want someone to be able to come in and trial this thing for 7 days before I charge them. You can create those trial days here, or you can create a trial end date there. Okay. Once you're done with that, you're going to click this over. You're going to make it public. And then this is going to be your sales page URL for that program specifically. Okay. So going over, this is just an example of the simple one that we just put together. Okay. So just the banner image, the description of the program, coached by, the contact information. And then if to check out, I would just click the only product there. I would put my name. I would put my email. I'm not going to give you guys my credit card number, but I would put my credit card number, expiration date, and then CVC code, agree to terms, and then I would start that program now. All right. I am going to unshare my screen. I know that was a quick one. I'm going to unshare my screen, and I'm going to read through questions. I see that I think it's Georgia answering questions on there. So thanks, Georgia. But I will snag any questions that were not answered. And then if you guys have questions, just continue to drop those in. Can this program be used with all age groups? Yeah, that's all based on how you want to utilize it. Yeah, Caleb, I know you did ask this question before. It's just a tool, man. Yeah, it's a tool. We have a lot of different types of coaches that are using the platform. You know where we stand in terms of like what we want people to deliver for fitness. But we're not going to be dogmatic in that approach. We want the platform to be used by as many people as possible. And hey, the goal is to funnel them into being coached one-to-one, which is extremely valuable for the coach when we think of a dollar and cents standpoint outside of ideology. So thanks for answering that one. Nate, are you able to sell programs for $0 and or set a free trial? Yeah, I think we answered that. Yeah, you could set the free trial. You can't sell them for $0. Stripe doesn't allow that, unfortunately. But you can create a trial period on those, Nate. Yep, agreed, Justine. Other options there. Consultations, storefront. I'm not sure what you're asking there. I think you're asking possibly selling consults. We did talk about that in our last, I think it was maybe 2 meetings ago. If you just want to jump into LearnerX and look at that webinar. DeAndre, what's the difference between this program and Trainerize? Yeah, we're just better than Trainerize. I say that like kind of jokingly. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that's what I believe. I think Trainerize is good for the people that use it and find it valuable. I've been in Trainerize. It's not as seamless as I would like it to be. From like there's not a lot of autonomy from a coach's perspective. I'll just leave it there, but it just depends on what you're looking for in a platform. Obviously I'm extremely biased in saying that, but yeah, I'll end it there. I was going to go further, but I won't. Jody. So yeah, any client that falls into any client that is created and is inside of CoachRx is counted toward your client count. So it could be a live client, it could be a standard client, it could be a client that you're coaching an individual design. Any client that's in there would go against your client count. Mike, what was the commission number on the sales page? So Mike, that was if you're using CoachRx to run payroll internally. We give users or organizations the ability to set commissions on every single one of the products that they sell and associate it with a coach. So if you're selling this assault bike improvement program and you want to pay one of your coaches $10 for every program, you can set that right there. If you want to pay them 40%, 60% for every program sold, you can set that right there. So that's just a back end thing just to calculate payroll. Oh, got it, Jody. No, that wouldn't count toward your client count. So when you create that, you would uncheck create a client when this is sold, and as long as that client isn't created, no, it wouldn't be counted toward your client count. Sorry about that. For us, once the program is done, do you have to manually archive clients? Yes, unless they are under a subscription for us. So let's say someone's under a subscription and they cancel. When they cancel and that billing period's over, they are archived. But if you're just selling programs, you're going to have to go in and automatically archive them, just because we don't know if you're going to go in and add to that program, because you can add, like, let's say it is a 30-day program, you can add another week to it, and then that client would be pushed that. So we're not auto archiving unless their subscription ends. I hope that makes sense for us. Oh yeah, I apologize, guys. When you're asking these questions or just shooting anything out, set it to everyone, not just hosts and panelists. Because if you're sending questions or thoughts to hosts and panelists, that I'm the only one that sees it. What is more popular with clients, standard or live? Scott, the clients don't actually know the difference between that, if that makes sense. It's more of a back end thing. So all the client knows is that they open up their app and they have a workout or they don't have a workout. That's more for workflow on the coach's end. You if you're running something inside of your facility and you want it just be pushed to 50 or 100 people, you would use live. If you're selling a 30-day program as like a tripwire to get them into individual design or something like that, then they would have 30 days and then their program is done. They don't have an expectation to continue to use the platform. For us, no, you can, a subscription can be standard or live. I would just highly recommend, I know you understand this, but I would highly recommend if it's a 30-day program and it's a subscription that you continue to add to that program. But if that's the case for us, I would just make that a live program if the intention is to add to it. So best practice would be, not that you have to do this, but best practice is that for a standard program, those should honestly be one-off payments. So like one-time payments. And then for subscriptions, those should be live programs. All right, great. Yeah, guys, I hope it was beneficial for our current subscribers. I hope the presentation was worth your time and you learned something new inside of programs. Yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions on that, or if you need to dig into one of those pieces, more granularly. Just drop us a note in our support bot in the bottom of CoachRx. For those of you that are not subscribers, I'm just going to drop this link. I'm going to drop this link in. Just follow that link. Just get started with a 14-day trial. You can come in with 5 clients. You can come with 500 clients. Those 14 days will still be free. And just as a reminder, or maybe I'm telling you this for the first time, if you're coming in with over 50 clients, we actually have onboarding assistance. So if you're coming over from another platform, CoachRx or True Coach, we will actually help you transition from those platforms into CoachRx. And actually, if you're coming from True Coach, we do have a nice export import feature that aligns nicely with True Coach's capabilities to get those clients into CoachRx. So yeah, let me know if you guys need anything, if you have any questions, and yeah, take advantage of the 50+ offer.